Not quite sure why it said political protest there, to be honest.
Going to be political protests at these movies.
Yeah, I guess so. Basically, there was this piece from the Hollywood Reporter, and it was quite revealing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Their insiders are like, yeah, Disney's mindset is like they just need to get this over with, right? Like they just want it done and out the way. They're not interested in it at all. They're trying to sort of fly under the radar as much as possible. So there's a few things I take issue with, really, because they're like, oh, it's had loads of it's been under fire on social media due to a combination of the film's progressive creative decisions and star Rachel Zegler's controversial comments, whilst also suffering from culture war attacks that seem doggedly determined to torpedo the perceived woke film no matter what. It is woke. The moment you went out to hire a Latina, it's woke. It's bloody Snow White, for goodness sake. You know what's so funny about this is that of all the movies any company could possibly make, this is perhaps the most milquetoast safe movie you could have ever made if you just remade it properly. Like, this is something that they did completely to themselves. It was wholly unnecessary. They did this. They didn't need to, but they did it. How dumb. How dumb. Like, what are you actually doing? So funny. So funny. So anyway, some commentary here is in news that broke earlier this week. Disney's taken next level measures to stage manage the film's world premiere in LA. While the event won't be scaled back, as some headlines claimed, it is being scaled back. They literally say this because they followed up by going, the studio isn't allowing regular red carpet press to attend in order to prevent Zegler and Gal Gadot from answering questions. So that is a scaling back then, you retard. Like, obviously that's scaling back. Hollywood Report, what are you doing? Clearly that's scaling back. Anyway, so there's that. That's just dumb. But again, a funny reveal. Again, coming from mainstream media, out and out, just admitting it. Yeah, that's why, because they can't answer questions. And they even compare it. They even compare it to The Flash. They're like, oh, yeah, Snow White isn't the first major film to manage a red carpet in such a way. Warner Brothers did the same with The Flash. But Ezra Miller had been accused of several criminal acts, whereas Zegler has simply generated social media blowback. Yeah, goes to show how bad she is, then, doesn't it? Anyway, so it says further and goes here. Where is it? So they've been going through the motions on Snow White, all but saying we need to get this thing over with. An exhibition source tells THR. An advanced sales cycle of less than 2 weeks just screams, we have zero faith in this thing. And it couldn't come at a worse point when the industry is just trying to limp along to May. Disney insiders dispute the narrative, saying that they always intended to hold back the film's big promotional push until the final few weeks. That's just cope, but all right. And that's kind of it, really. You know, they start talking about where they're going to go with it, how it's all being controlled, and blah blah blah. But I just thought this was interesting to talk about. What do you guys think? Let's go with you, Marvin, first, bud.
Yeah. So this article I found repugnant and offensive for a lot of reasons. I feel like it's trying to give you a little something to say that there's controversy, but it's also trying to shift that controversy, because the controversy for this, it falls on two heads. It falls on the heads of the Disney executives, and it falls on Rachel Zegler, because they're the ones that made these decisions to run with this script and for Rachel Zegler to shoot her mouth off. But they are trying to say it's also the fault of the quote unquote toxic fans, and they're trying to push blame on Gal Gadot, which Variety also tried to do, which I assume now is marching orders for the mainstream media. I found that to be reprehensible. Because Gal Gadot, all she did was speak at a Anti-Defamation League thing where she received an award and basically just talked about her identity and talked about her home country, which is what she was there to do. Rachel Zegler hijacked posts that were specifically promoting this film to give her take on the Middle East. So I just think it's completely disingenuous. It's well, all sides are wrong. No, they're not. Rachel Zegler is wrong. This is a Rachel Zegler problem. She's the reason why there is no American press at the premiere. She's the reason why there's no press junket. It's all her. She is 100% the problem. Now, additionally, they also accidentally told the truth in this Hollywood Reporter article in the beginning. They said something. They had a quote about how Disney had originally cast 7 diverse actors to play the dwarves, and then changed it after fan backlash to make them the CGI abominations that they are today. Almost immediately after this article was published, I mean, like, it was a matter of hours, they edited the article to make it say Disney always intended to have CGI dwarves. It was always their intention, which means they're just running the Disney PR spin through this article. If you think the Hollywood Reporter is taking it to Disney at all in this, they are not. They are towing the Disney line. Someone called them angrily. This is just an absolute indictment on the mainstream media and the lengths that they are willing to go to protect people like Rachel Zegler and companies like Disney. It's vile.
Well, they even say it here. Like, a previous version of the story incorrectly characterized the casting of the 7 dwarfs. THR regrets the error. Why do you have to say regret? Like, you just...
They regret it because Bob Iger called them, and Bob Iger's secretary called and screamed at them, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, doesn't it?
What happened was you accidentally told the truth for once, and then you got called out for it by your master pulled on the leash.
Fuck's sake.
I hate the Access. You don't hate the Access media enough, folks. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Oh dear, this movie is going to bomb. They even say in here, they try to make out like the opening weekend is quite positive. They're like, the film's tracking rather nicely for a March release. It could debut to 50 million. It's like, yeah, that's terrible, mate. Are you high? Like, that's awful. But again, just like random cope, trying to appease their paymasters. Unbelievable. What do you reckon, Culture? Come on. What's your thoughts?
I think the Hollywood Reporter is probably the worst of the 3 Penske trade papers. I think that they narrowly cover information that is completely narrative laden. I think that they are cowards, and in changing the story, have only revealed everything that had been reported previously to be true, all the way back into 2022, 2023, in which we have evidence in the form of photographs that are referenced in Marvin's story and elsewhere. You can currently find the story up still on the Daily Mail from 2023, showing you the leaked photographs of the 7 dirty hippies and everything else. The Hollywood Reporters fine to toe the line on this and anything else Disney tells them to, because of all 3 of these Penske media properties have to continue to feed grist to the mill. And if they don't have the grist, the mill stops. This is a real problem. We are not going to get real news until we demand real news. And I have a feeling that as Penske media slowly gets bled dry by all of their incredibly left-leaning outlets, including the Rolling Stone, they are going to have to cap off some of these water leaks that they have, so that they can continue to stay in existence. And I think at some point, maybe they'll all starve out. But what it does do is it leaves an opening for anybody who's interested. And that's why Puck Media has been so successful recently. As far as the Snow White angle on this, I don't care. Well, the thing that I'm noticing is that there's a lot of things going unreported in this story. The reason that they want to get this over with is because the exhibitors want to get it over with. They're tired of this film. They know it's going to suck rocks. It's going to occupy theaters, despite the fact that, as Marvin has also accurately reported, they've taken it out of their prime locations. What they consider prime locations would be the theaters around Disney Springs. Those 4 screens, 4, count them, 4, as Marvin points out.
Yep.
It
Dolby,
is
one Dolby, one dine-in, and and then just two regular
standards.
screens. It's
Yeah.
not normal.
Yeah, the laser standards that they have. So they have they this is embarrassing to Disney, and they're trying to have it be less embarrassing. And you know what would be a disaster if Palestinian protesters showed up at Disney Springs to protest this movie, because it could happen.
So
I'm not
They'd be out
kidding.
of, they'd be out of there before they ever did anything.
Yes, but they would still do it. Remember, it's about optics for these whack jobs, and you're gonna see this at theaters around the country, especially ones that are street based, like in New York City and places like that, where they don't have a run up or a lobby or something that would be suitable. You're gonna see this happen, and you're gonna see protests from both sides. You're gonna see you could potentially see violence. Remember when we were supposed to have violence during the first Joker movie, and instead it happened during Frozen? You guys don't remember that story?
Yeah, when the
No.
media was literally like poking the
Yeah.
they were literally poking him like a
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't you guys going to be violent at that Joker's movie? No.
come on, do
But we're going to be
violence.
we're going to have a machete attack at an Elsa screening. Thank you. Come on again. Anyway, it's a big problem, and Disney's got to get out of here. The CGI characters were not the plan. We know that for a fact, because the whole reason they did the reshoots because they had to reshoot the entire film.
We saw the 7
CGI.
Discord mods.
We did. Yeah, I still like my Reddit moderators, but it's fine. It's fine. I just know that this controversy is going to get more and more. Not just about the dwarfs. Who gives two shits? It's just they lie about it all. And I think everybody's tired of the lies. But look, we only have one more week of lying to get through, and a full week of theatrical receipts, and then we can have a conversation about what a disaster this was. From not just the experience of going to the movie, right, Marvin?
Right.
Because I can't believe I have to go see this piece of garbage. Anyway, to the review, and ultimately to the collapse of the box office, which they're already embarrassed. I mean, Mr. H, is there a world in which Disney would be satisfied with a film that they spent $400 million on?
We don't know that just yet. We will know soon how much they spent. We don't know if that's been that.
We're
much
going to know
yet.
really soon, actually. But yeah, and we won't know what the marketing budget is till a year from now, unfortunately.
True. But the marketing budget's not going to be big at all, though.
No, they went real small.
Barely do anything.
Went small, but
yeah.
I'm like I said, I have low expectations for this.
I know it's going to be funny though, isn't it? Next week it's going to be funny. I can't wait to watch this next week. It's going to be super fun. Like from a hilarious perspective, just how bad it is. I'm definitely it's been a long time since I can't remember the last time I had a drink. So I'm going to have a few drinks, and it's going to be very, very funny. I'm going to have
take Bo with you. That'll be a really handsome date for you.
No, I'm not. I don't swing that way, mate. So neither does he.
Well, I just figured you and Bo hang out a lot. You do an awful lot together.
Get any gay card and all that.
Yeah. I mean, he
what's this? Sure. What's this other news, Marvin? Come on, then. This is your one. Let's sock it to us. Disney Snow White dwarf controversy.
Oh yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, so a bunch of some little people actors have gone after Disney for basically for not giving them roles. So this all started when Peter Dinklage spattered his mouth off. He talked about them. He praised them for casting a Latina as Snow White, but then he said, well, you're progressive in one way, but then you're still making that effing backward story about 7 dwarves living in a cave together. What the F are you doing, man? And then Disney immediately shifted gears, went to the 7 Dirty Hippies instead. And then when the 7 Dirty Hippies were mocked, they switched gears to the 7 CGI abominations. So you have Ali Chapman, who's appeared on Little Women LA, slamming Disney for choosing CGI over real actors. She said, quote, it's a movie that's supposed to have real dwarves. Instead, Disney chose to use CGI to replace actors and actresses that are little people that are very talented. And then her husband, Matt McCarthy, also echoed that and said Disney's decision effectively shut out little people from 7 key roles. And he said that's 7 roles right there, 7 little people that could have filled those roles. And unfortunately, were shut out of that opportunity. Now, because of CGI, this is a thing that's happening a lot. You remember that Wonka movie that just came out from Warner Brothers where Hugh Grant played all the Oompa Loompas with CGI. And that was another big controversy because the Little People Acting Committee was not happy about that either. So you're seeing basically, I think what a lot of people think. And so I interviewed Dylan Postel, who played Hornswoggle in the WWE over on my wrestling channel, like so early last year. And, we were talking specifically about this, and he called Peter Dinklage a dickhead and basically said that what he did was every dwarf role in Hollywood now goes to Peter Dinklage. He gets it by default. And this would have been an opportunity for 7 new actors to step into a major role and possibly become stars in their own right, which then makes Peter Dinklage not unique anymore among the Hollywood elite. God forbid somebody that was playing Dopey or something like that, ended up capturing the hearts and minds of the nation. And then all of a sudden Peter Dinklage is losing out on roles. So what a lot of people think happened was Peter Dinklage made it to the top of the ladder, well, step ladder in this case, and then kicked it down behind him. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened here. And they're pissed. I mean, I believe, I want to say that, what's his face? Willow, played Willow. He played Professor, he was in Harry Potter. He was Wicked the Ewok. Warwick Davis. Warwick Davis, I think, has also said something about it, but I don't know exactly what he said.
Yeah, I've got no idea. No idea at all.
Like Peter Dinklage wants to be so offended by this. Like, dude, you're famous because, I mean, you took the role in Elf, where Will Ferrell calls you an elf. You took the role in Game of Thrones where they call you the imp. They call you half man. They call, like you were called every name under the sun.
Non-stop. That was literally the whole thing. It was the whole point of it all.
Yeah.
God damn. He's someone that I hate people like that. Like he's one of these people that's just like, yeah, no, I'm famous now. No, I'm done. No. I hate the things that made me famous. It's like, what? Like you're famous for a reason and now you hate it. It's like, right, okay. So you're gonna stop everyone else from being able to become famous from the things that you use to get famous. It's just dumb. Super, super dumb. Super dumb. Yeah. What do you reckon, Culture? What's your thoughts on all of this? Culture.
You're muted, Culture.
I said it's a long time. I keep hitting the button. It keeps like flashing back on. It's a long time coming. Disney needs to get the suffering and their comeuppance when it comes to this kind of thing, especially this issue. I mean, little people have worked in Hollywood since there was a Hollywood, to be fair. Part of an entertainment crowd in various ways. Silent movies with little people in them. I mean, we can go back to, the dawn of Hollywood, in California and elsewhere and New York and have the conversation about the fact that, you're keeping people out of a business because why? I mean, you're claiming to protect the people with, immutables that you can't match, but then you don't give the people with those immutables jobs. It's just dumb. And it's a big problem when there are dwarves in the world and there are dwarves in stories. So if you want to be good about being, a custodian of all this virtue, you have to actually have the dwarves in the things. Because they exist in our world and they don't mind it. The little people actors are some of the coolest people in Hollywood. And I can go through a whole list of people that I'm thinking like, I mean, they made it like a whole new opportunity for dwarves prior to the virtue signaling leftoids.
Well, and you know what? I think they all thought that the virtue signaling leftoids were going to mean that they would get more work, but I don't think they were counting on the fact that the virtue signaling leftoids were the ones that were all of a sudden going to say, no, you existing on screen is offensive now.
Yeah. You as a person are offensive. See, because that's what it equates to. Yeah. Sorry, but that's what it equates to. Yeah, we keep cutting each other off. Yeah. I don't know. To me, the young lady that's the primary on this is every right to vent her spleen at Disney, and I think a class action lawsuit maybe isn't a bad idea.
Oh, you reckon?
Well, dwarves are they are being kept out of jobs.
I don't know. I don't think you have a case there. I think that would get thrown right out.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's like McConte level, I think, of having no case.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for the support, Marvin.
I'm just saying. I just don't think that your legal
no
analysis holds water there.
Okay. Well, stooping down to Mercante though is a little harsh, bro.
Because if I'm opposing counsel, I'm going to point out, well, look at the definition of dwarf. It can mean many things. Dwarfs are magical creatures in mythology. Look at
my God.
It wasn't all little people in The Hobbit singing far over the misty mountains like that. All of a sudden, boom, case closed. You're done.
Every porn parody of Snow White, they cast actual dwarves. I'm
billing you for each hour that I'm working on this, by the way.
All right. It's fine.
Amazing. Well, anyway, does that wrap us up for all of that?
I hope so. Good Lord.
Snow White controversy. What do you reckon? Are we good with this now?
I don't know.
Or not? I reckon we're good. I reckon we can move on from this. We got some super chats about this though, actually. So one from Steven says, seems Disney needs to bury this movie quickly.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, get it over with.
I think that's what they're trying to do. Yeah.
You can't trust this girl in front of the press. They've had Gal Gadot do a couple of interviews. She was on Good Morning America, which obviously is Disney-owned outlet. I'm sure she'll be on Kimmel or whoever, but you just got to get through this because you cannot put this woman in front of anyone that might ask her an open-ended question.
Yeah.
I would say
they were doing really safe bet interviews as well, though, weren't they? Like,
yeah, well, they have to
specifically.
Look, I understand why they did it with the Flash because that guy was criminally unstable and criminal, perhaps allegedly. Anyway, but she's worse than he is. Right?
Yeah. Oh, wait. And he was a legitimate criminal who choked a woman on camera, and she's somehow worse.
It's amazing.
He might actually work again someday. She won't. I think she's going to be on Broadway for the rest of her career.
Yeah, I don't think she's going to go. I don't think. Yeah, she's not going to do.
She'll be at Broadway. She'll be on the West End. She'll be a theater actress for the rest of her career. I can't see another movie touching her after this.
Well, that's what Lex Kane says here. It could be the end of movie career of Rachel Zegler. But she didn't really have one, though, did she? That's the funniest thing about this woman is she didn't actually have a career. Like she's an up and comer, and she's nuked her own career from going anywhere further now, right? Like she wasn't anything, was she? Let's be honest.
Yeah, she Spielberg discovered her and put her in that god-awful West Side Story, and that bombed. She was in the Hunger Games Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, and while that didn't bomb, it is the lowest drawing Hunger Games of all time, especially when you adjust for inflation.
It didn't make money.
It didn't make money? Oh, well, good. No. I didn't know what their break-even point on that
was.
And
then Y2K. You're forgetting about Y2K.
Oh, of course. I was about to say Y2K.
Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
Good Lord, man. Just jump into my grave that fast. I'm kidding, buddy. I love you.
I know.
No, Y2K, what did it make? $4 million its opening weekend? Or
did it make that much? I don't think it made that much
its whole run. Yeah.
Yeah. It didn't earn back its budget. It didn't even earn back its marketing.
And that was the first. Sorry, that I was just saying that was the first movie that was marketed solely on
Her.
her star power, her as the lead.
Yeah, see, this is why you don't think that people's social media following have anything to do with their popularity.
Worldwide gross for Y2K, by the way, $4.446 million.
Yep.
Fucking hell, that's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
It's
look,
terrible.
she's had no winning films. She's been in no winners. None.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a career. She won't have a career after this. She's got no films lined up either. So, yeah, probably bad.
Oh, I thought she did.
I think she
Not
does.
that I saw on IMDb. There've been rumors that like Marvel was interested in her or Lucasfilm was interested in her, but I can't
No.
imagine Disney's ever going to touch her again.
No.
Look, as a member of the movie going public, I celebrate her absence from the screen forevermore. As a YouTube content creator and editor in chief of an entertainment news site, I weep for what we will be losing.
That's true. That's true. Lex says the 7 dwarfs in this woke movie look like alcoholics. They do. They do. They do look like alcoholics, actually, to be honest. That's funny. I like that. That's funny. Justin super chatted over on Streamlabs and says, I propose a drinking game for Snow White. 1 drink for when Snow Brown and the Evil Queen is on screen. 2 drinks for when Jonathan is on screen. 3 drinks for when the 7 CGI dwarfs are on screen. Each time they're on screen, do the thing above. No, mate.
You would die.
Yeah, shit me.
You know, the more I stare at that picture of her with the CGI dwarves in the article, the more weird it becomes.
It is weird, isn't it?
Like you almost
when
like start.
They released this, everyone thought it was like done by AI really quickly. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. I remember my reaction to this initially. Oh my gosh, they're AI chat GPT dwarves. Yeah. And here's the other thing, guys. We forgot about a whole movie she was in that also failed. Shazam, Fury of the Gods.
Yes, it did.
She was the pederast in that film.
Yeah, she was a pedo, yeah. She was a full-blown pedo in there.
Yeah.
It's just like these, like the dwarves looking at her like that. It reminds me of that picture of like the girl sitting on the couch with the 4 black guys behind her. Except they're dwarves. You know, at least one of them is thinking about going up on her.
Of course they are. Oh, dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Yeah, cool. All right. Excellent. Right, let's shuffle on from this now.